Go to TAPgiles.com to learn dreams, engage my services, and support the channel. So it pops up the damage when it takes damage, and if it takes a different amount of damage, 18.7, it took 18.7, and if it's continuous, then it will continuously take damage, and it will keep on outputting that damage. And it works with like the default of 1 second cooldown time, just as normal, and it's actually quite easy to do. So I'll do it with a puppet. So let's start with a puppet, and we're going to emit these things. I'll put it on a sculpt instead. Okay. I'll have a number displayer, and I'll group it in with L1 and X, and now it's kind of scoped into the group and taken this object, this gadget with me, like that. And then I want to animate that. So do that, and this will just display the number. So I'm going to use grid, tap it in the first position, and then on the last position. So I'll just have it moving up basically. So that's displaying on the screen over there. If we turn on in scene, now it'll be in scene and it will follow the gadget as it moves. I'll have it face camera and always on top. And I think I'll adjust how it looks a bit. And then I'll have it fade out so that it has a nice kind of transition out by turning down the text opacity. And I'll just use the fade out handles here, so that as it goes through that, if I just pause it actually, as it goes through that, it actually fades out like that, and then it will destroy itself with a destroyer. Just make sure it's after it's faded out part, and then hook it up to the group. So now when it gets to that point, the whole thing will destroy itself. And then we don't need to see that, so we'll just turn that off. So this is how it will normally look. And it'll fade out. Now let's kind of store what this value is meant to be. Yeah, so we're going to take this into a node and wire that into the number displayer. So if this was just like that, I'll just have a value slider to test. If I change that value, let's have that, because it's only displaying integers, so let's give it a different integer. So now it's displaying 23. But if we keep changing that, then it will keep changing in this object. So we want to kind of lock it in, and I do that by using an emitter. And we're going to emit that object, and we don't need to do that. And now it's going to emit that object, and I'll put it up here. So this is where it's going to emit, and it has a red line going to the original, because we have preview invisibility off. So it's going to emit there and send out that value. But if we go in here into the original and then loop this wire, then what will happen is it's still receiving this value, but it's not doing anything with it because it's powered off. But because it's got this looped wire, it's actually kind of infinitely going into itself. So when you emit this object, it kind of remembers what was there at the moment you emitted it. So now it says 19. And if I like change it halfway through, it doesn't change until it emits a new one. And that's about it to like emit this number. And if we go into here, so it's got a health manager over here. I'm just going to move it around. And it has currently losing health and currently gaining health. And this actually sends the value of how much health it's losing. So if we wire that into a number displayer, yeah, that'll be fine. And then I'll make a object we can stand on. And while we're standing on it, it will deal some damage, so let's make it red. And grab a health modifier. So the health modifier has different ways of dealing damage, like in a zone or impact, which means while you're touching the thing that the sculpt that this modifier is on, then it will deal damage to any health modifiers that's like stuck to that object. So this has a health manager in this puppet. If that puppet touches a sculpt with a health modifier that says when you touch the sculpt, take damage, then that health manager will take that damage. So if I make it a smaller amount and just drop it on there, then it takes the damage, and you can see it, current health going down like that. But also if you watch that over there, you see it flicker to a number, not just 1, but a specific number, which should be 4.7. So if I wire that into the power as well, it'll. So I don't know if you can see that, but I can see that 4.7. If we emit this, and instead of sending it that value slider thing, we send it that. I'll just put this over here for now. Then, so we turn on the emitter while we'll just do it once. When we take damage, and we're telling the object that's being emitted how much damage it took. So let's put it above its head. Yay! So it's emitted a 5, which is the closest integer to minus 4.7. We make it larger, 26, and if we put it onto continuous mode, you're actually taking a little bit of damage all the time. So if we set it to continuous emit and put it to 0, then every frame it will emit a new one of these while it's receiving power, which means while it's being damaged. So now it's emitting like constantly a tiny amount. And to have it kind of randomize where it emits from, I'll just add a action recorder and then move this gizmo around like that. You can see it's being emitted in different places. Cool. And so now it's emitting all the damage in like various different places, and we can go and speed up the action recorder so it's even more random. Yeah, that looks okay. And you can like change the size, so now it will just be a little bit random or a lot random, however you want that to work. And that's about it. Pretty easy. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. Go to patreon.com/TAPgiles to learn something new every day.